Yeah, I got another video for y'all today. And this one, let's take these glasses off now. This one is Whitebeard versus Rayleigh in their older age. The fight will take place in Sabaody. Physical strength. Whitebeard has that. Marine Ford, that's all I have to say. People who've watched it already know. Rayleigh pulling up Marine Ford's not doing all that kind of damage, but he's still somebody who would he would fuck them up pretty bad, but he wouldn't, do the kind of shit that Whitebeard's done with his physical strength. You know, carrying people on his on his body, they're hanging from his body. You know, he's not worried. He's throwing giants around. I know Rayleigh could probably throw a few giants around, but Whitebeard is just effortless for him. Speed wise though, I definitely give it to Rayleigh. The speed. You know, I you know, fuck, I knew that they were still getting hits off on old Whitebeard. He ain't that fast. You know, Rayleigh, he's pretty quick. He's able to keep up with Kizaru, to some degree. Letting out a little bit of hockey to make his fight more evenly matched. Rayleigh has speed of Whitebeard, durability. Durability goes to Whitebeard, man. It took two Akainu punches to the chest. I'll tell you right now, Rayleigh's not, taking two holes from Akainu in the chest, and he ain't gonna keep fighting. He's gonna die after one. I mean, if Akainu can get him, I believe Akainu could get him. But durability wise, Whitebeard, man, he got two holes in his chest, and he was still fighting a war, trying to, at least so his sons could get away. Endurance wise, again, Whitebeard. He took on the Marines, and it was, he fought Gold Roger for 3 days straight. Um, Rayleigh's never done that. Now he was fighting people that day too. See, it wasn't just Roger fighting Whitebeard. It was Rayleigh fighting people too. But his fights were against children. Man, he was a 40-something-year-old man fighting a young Marco and shit. He wasn't sweating that shit. He was like, "Kid, I'm always serious." He was giving a lesson that whole time basically to Marco and the other Whitebeard pirates who he had faced. Um, no real challenge there, but Whitebeard got pushed, you know, in his long fights that he was in. So Whitebeard got the endurance, intelligence. I'll give it to Rayleigh. Rayleigh was able to take what he knew about hockey and train Luffy with it, right? You know, this is how you train for observation hockey. This is how you train for armament hockey. This is how you refine and use your Congress hockey properly because he could also do it. And he also has experience too, but Whitebeard has more experience fighting the big, tough opponents. Rayleigh's been there. He's fought, tough opponents before too, but not like Whitebeard. Nigga, oh my God, you got me starting to talk about the manga and shit. Let's just say during God Valley, he was moving a little bit. He was one of those guys, putting in effort on some real enemies. Some powerful foes, man. Even back then, you know. Close skills go to Whitebeard. The Quake fruit. And like this is a thing, he ain't known for using hockey at his old age. But even so, it don't matter, bro. It don't fucking matter. Whitebeard is still out here, you know, banging against, Rayleigh with the fucking Quake fruit. Rayleigh doesn't want none of that. Like honestly, bro, he might be able to break one of his swords. Or his sword that he carries on him, you know. with one of those fists. Um, Range skills also go to Whitebeard too. Like he can crack the sky and cause tsunamis, earthquakes. That is changing the landscape, y'all, of Sabaody Archipelago. Um, Recovery, I'll give it to Rayleigh because Whitebeard, he was on life support. Rayleigh was not on life support. He's drinking himself. He's still drinking in his old age, and he's still running around doing shit. He's still swimming across lakes and stuff like that. I think he has a better, you know, he has better recovery than Whitebeard does. Hacks wise, Whitebeard. He has the three types of hockey, just like Rayleigh, but he also has um a powerful paramesa type devil fruit. Said to destroy the world. Rayleigh has some swordsmanship, but Whitebeard also has a supreme grade Naginata. You know, so there's that, and I give it to Whitebeard. Environment wise, I give it to Rayleigh, because he does know the area pretty well. Because they're fighting at Sabaody Archipelago. Even with all that, the winner of this fight is Edward Newgate Whitebeard. High difficulty. Let me know what you think about that in the comments and be cool on the corner, y'all.